Hey everyone, I just want to give you a little bit of a background on what our project is and how we came to it. My sister is a missionary, her name is Danielle, and I was actually able to reach out to her and see if she knew of anybody who could have financial support, but also like support through other ways. And we'll talk about how we support them through other ways in this video. And she led us to Nicole and Osmar, who are in Peru, and they run an orphanage. And from what Danielle said, and from what we've gathered from Nicole and Osmar, they are not a largely funded group. They are needing help. And so that's why Chris and Tong have decided, and I have decided that we want to support them through this project. Nicole has now introduced to us to Megli, and Megli and Osmar are the actual runners of the orphanage, and Nicole is just a stay-at-home mom. But Nicole is a little bit easier to come in contact with than Osmar and Megli. So Nicole's kind of our middleman person, and then Osmar and Megli are the one who actually run the orphanage. And now we'll talk about what we're doing and what's our future looking like.
Yes, so what is our mission? Our mission is to help these children, and to elaborate on that, we are mission to better the lives of these children in Peru by improve their living conditions, and also to help building an effective learning environment for them. And we're going to do that through a range of initiatives and activities. And that would lead us to the next slide, which I will go into how we're going to do that. So we are going to firstly raise funds by using a GoFundMe page. We are going to use these money to have the children in Peru to buy whatever necessities that they believe going to help improving their living conditions. Next, we are going to create a YouTube channel and also a Google site, a website where we can post videos and activities for the children to do and to learn to watch. So these video, we are going to do a series of topics such as our favorite food, our lives, our communities, our habits. We believe that through these video, the children will be able to learn something about our countries, our cultures, and that would help them to know more about the world, and also is the diverse cultures. Also, we are hoping that the children will be able to watch these video and respond to them. We are also expecting the children to somehow make videos similar to us, so that we can also learn from them as they learn from us. As I have talked about it briefly before, we have designed a Google site for the children where we put resources like fun articles, fun activities, so that they can visit this site and also learn while playing. And lastly, we are going to set up ongoing pen-pal relationship with the children, where we write them letters to learn about them, to develop a relationship. And we hope that it will be ongoing even though after this project has ended. So you can see that even though this project may look like just a fundraiser for these children to earn some money to kind of afford the necessities of life, we believe that this opportunity will also be a most engaging and memorable experience for the children, because they get to share their lives, and we also get to share our lives with them. So the hope that by sharing these video and also writing them letters, we can give them an idea of how other parts of the world live, and also show them that we care about them, and we this is also a chance for us to show them support, and love and hope.
So I've mentioned a lot of the people who are involved in this, but the three of us are very involved in this. We take this very seriously. And then Megli and Osmar and Nicole, they have been very accommodating, I guess is the right word, where we've just literally reached out to them quite randomly and was like, how can we help you? Because we want to do this project with you guys. So they've been very accommodating, and we are still trying to figure out more stuff about them and how their orphanage is run. But those three people are the main people over there: Megli, Osmar, and Nicole, and then the orphanage children. We don't have an exact number of how many of them there are, but that is hopefully something we will learn soon. Just how many kids they actually are, and how many people we are affecting with that life. And then with that, we are also hoping that the people who help us support us financially is also key players in this, between ourselves, but also other just complete strangers who come across this project and see what we're doing and want to support us. They're huge key players in all of this. So those are the people involved.
As far as sustainability goes, as my teammates have touched on earlier in the presentation, we are doing a website where we are putting activities and our themed videos on. And the hope is that this website will stay live and active. And this will be not only available for the orphans that we're currently going to be communicating back and forth with, but they can be used later on for future orphans within this site as well. And then beyond that, we're hoping that as we get this pen pal thing going and we start exchanging letters back and forth, my hope is that I can continue to write with the child or the two children or three children that I'm writing with, even beyond after this project ends. And then another idea, a big idea that we're trying and hoping and maybe we can move forward with is maybe find like a Spanish teacher or an elementary school teacher that would be willing to keep this idea of sharing themed videos back and forth between the orphans and her students. Or maybe there's a mother out there or a couple volunteers that have children that would like to share these videos back and forth just to learn something about Peru, and for the Peruvian orphans to learn something more about the United States. Or maybe in Vietnam, maybe there's someone that wants to do it and they can share between Vietnam and Peru. So I think as far as sustainability goes, we have some really good activities going with the website and the YouTube channel and these ideas. And then I think we have a good goal of trying to keep it moving, keep this idea moving even after our project ends and we move on. Now we'll move on to what the team members' contributions are.
Well, firstly, I want to mention that all three of us are heavily invested in this project, and we all have put a lot of effort and our time in this. We all sit down together to kind of just put together what we're gonna do, our ideas for the weekly YouTube videos, and also other assignments such as the reading capstone project. Personally, I came up with the mission statement for this project, and I am also responsible for managing our YouTube channel. So far, I have published our first video about our favorite food. I also have praised Chris and Olivia to spread the word about GoFundMe page by sharing it on social media sites. I also help out a bit with the Google site. With that going, I expect to keep spreading the word about the GoFundMe page and hoping that we'll able to achieve our goal of $2,000. And pen pal letters, YouTube videos, watch and respond to the children's video, contribute to Google site. Those are the things that I expect that I will continue doing to do in the future. Yeah.
Just like Tom had mentioned, we are all very involved in this, so a lot of the same stuff will be kind of on our what we've done so far. But I was the one who did reach out to Nicole, and one of the first things that we were talking about is like how we can really be involved with these kids. And she said that for the orphans to see people who are in other countries or other areas and see how we live our lives, it really encourages them to better their lives. And so that's honestly our goal. So I was the first one who reached out to Nicole, and we all brainstormed different ideas on how we can be involved with these kids because it's difficult with the time and the distance. We did our first video just last week, which was a challenge for me because I'm electronically inclined. And so that was a challenge, but I'm learning every time. And then just kind of going forward, I want to get better and continue to do our weekly videos, respond to the orphans kids videos when they post theirs, and then write to the kids. I'm really looking forward to doing that, just like Chris said, so we can build that relationship. And then Nicole actually wrote me like 2 or 3 days ago and asked if I had any horse tack that, or knew of anybody who had horse tack that she could buy very cheaply or be given, because Nicole and her family are wanting to get a horse soon, and she will share that with the orphanage. And I have many horses, and I have some older tack that I could totally refreshen up. And I'm hoping, even if it's after this project is all done, I'm hoping to get a box, maybe some bridles, saddles, maybe one saddle or something, and just to send that way, because I know how important horses are in my life. And so it'd be fun to have that be there too. And then just keep on creating and posting activities at the Google website so we can have many things to share from here on out.
And so, like the previous teammates have said, a lot of this stuff has been the same in the beginning. A big portion of what I've done is I didn't have a lot of great ideas coming up, so my teammates came up with some great ideas, and I tried to support them and how brainstorm how we could do this project. I worked heavily on completing the written portion of the capstone project. Helped select the YouTube videos and communicate a little bit back and forth with Nicole and Megley about which topics we wanted to move forward with. I created my first video just like my teammates and got that published up. After a little hiccup with the GoFundMe page, I was just the one to get it up there, but we all were all very instrumental in what we were going to do and what we were going to move forward as far as the GoFundMe page goes. And then my most crucial role in it is I was the one that initially set up the Google site, and that's kind of my baby in this whole project. So that's what I get to play with and add to all this and my fun part of it. And then, of course, I've shared the GoFundMe page. But moving forward, I'm obviously going to, like my teammates, I'm going to keep recording my videos. I'm really, really excited to get this pen pal thing going. So once we get a little bit more communication from Peru about who we'll be writing with and everything, I'm excited to get that done. And then obviously watch and respond to the other videos and post. Sorry about that. And post and respond to their videos. And then another part that I really want to work on, and I'm going to start moving on this week, is finding volunteers or a teacher that can maybe continue doing these themed videos back and forth with the Peruvian orphans. That lastly will just be ending the GoFundMe page and getting the money sent down there so we can buy them whatever we decide that they truly need right now. So here I have our what we've done so far with our YouTube videos. This is a graph showing what each of us is doing each week. So we each post one video on Wednesday, and it follows a set schedule with set themes. And so this just shows that we're right on schedule. We've each posted our first video last Wednesday. And then tomorrow our next videos will go live on the website and go live on the YouTube. So this is just showing that we're right on target for that deliverable. The next one shows where we stand on our GoFundMe campaign. So we are very early due to a little miscommunication and having some issues with a verification code. So the GoFundMe page just went live 3 days ago. Luckily, we've got $50, and so we're a little below schedule because we're supposed to be about $64 thing, but as I'm hoping as it gets shared, as you guys hopefully out there share it for us and maybe give us some tips on how we can make it a little bit stronger, then we'll stay on there. So we're not going to change our goal at this point, but we're just going to try to improve and fundraise. And then our website, this is the content that we had. We had a content goal of around having 40 activities. Activities include like coloring pages and everything. I'll show you guys just in a moment what we've added so far, but we're well above schedule for the webpage. Everybody's contributed to it. We've got some cool things on there. And so right now we're right around 24 different items on there, and we're hoping in the long run we'll be around 40, 45. So I'm going to switch over to the screen to just kind of show our webpage real quick. So here is our webpage that we made. We call it Project Peru, just like the name of our project. The homepage is across the pond. We have a cool map on here that we created that just basically shows where we're from and where everybody's currently at. So that's kind of the homepage. We've got a few pictures on here of different locations of everybody that's involved in this project. Over here, we have our actual video. So if you guys hop on here, it's just under videos. And here's the first 3 that we've already done. And then below here, we'll have each week's videos just kind of following the theme. I believe this week is types of transit or home life. And then the next link over here is activities, and it just kind of just different things I found that I thought were kind of cool. Some coloring pages about Vietnam and Washington. And then I did a quick summary of a few games that American children can play, and I picked stuff that you don't have to have a lot of resources or anything for to play them. And then fun links that we found, just different just different things that are kid friendly. It's a little bit tougher to do this because you got to find stuff that is open source. So it's kind of hard to track it down, but there is some stuff out there. And then finally, our whole team has put in some really cool things about us and kind of given a short summary of what we've been doing and what we want to do. So that's kind of a walkthrough of our webpage. And now I will move on to Olivia and let her talk about some of the challenges that we're facing.
So when he actually gets back over, I'll just kind of start talking about the challenges. One of the biggest challenges that we've faced is communication. And the main point of that is just because of our time zones. We have Tong in Vietnam, and then Chris and I, who are in Ellensburg, but we're 3 hours apart as well. And so we just are all over the board. And then Peru is also a different time zone, excuse me. And so we just are very all over the place. We have to wake up early in order to get a hold of Tong, and Tong has to stay up late in order to get a hold of us sometimes. And so it's just been very challenging to communicate within our team, but also with the orphanage representatives. And then Chris and Tong will talk about the other 2.
Yeah, this is also one of the challenges. For example, pen pal letters. We would love to send the children physical letters because that would be more of a personal touch. And we really do think that they would really appreciate receiving physical letters in a time like this. But unfortunately, we have just learned that it would take at least 2 weeks to up to months for the letters to arrive. So we are not, at this point, we are not sure if the idea could go ahead and we could even receive any letters from them, or they could receive any letters from us. And also boxes, even if we want to send them some things like books or clothes, we are not entirely sure if the box is gonna arrive at all. So that's definitely one of the challenges that we're facing right now.
Yeah, and then I think our last major challenge is our GoFundMe. So it's not just the fact that we were a little late to the game getting it posted up and getting it shared, but we're also, due to these communication problems and distance, it's really hard for us to be we don't quite know right now what the funds are going to be used for. Like, we love the idea of them being able to buy books or writing materials or computers, something that can be added to the orphanage that will be used not just right now, but can continue to help them later on. Or if it's just like a construction project on the orphanage, we just haven't quite been able to narrow down exactly what the funds are for, which is making it harder to kind of pull on the heartstrings and make the GoFundMe page more appeal more to more people.
So our solution with communication is, well, get better at it. That's kind of how we're trying to work with it. We're trying to communicate better just by texting. I do a lot of like voice to messages on my on our Facebook page, or not our Facebook page, but our Messenger, because I can't type a long message very well. So I just do a lot of voices, and that helps. Just like just trying to communicate between Meg Lee and Nicole and Osmar and Chris and Pong and I. We need to get better at it.
Just adding to that, because we have different schedules and we all have works, so I try to reply to my teammates and also Nicole and Mackley whenever I can. So if I get a 5-minute break, I'll try to let them know whatever that I'm doing and whatever I think that whatever I'm thinking of they're doing and how can I help and everything like that. We also communicate on Messenger. That will make it easier and a lot quicker for us to communicate with one another. As for pen pal letters, we are thinking of the possibility of just communicate with the kids via emails. I believe that they have access to computers, so that would be easier for both of us, to try and communicate compared to writing physical letters.
Yeah, and then finally with the GoFundMe page, a lot of the solution for this is, like I said before, we're going to have to decide exactly what the funds are for, so then I can get that posted in the GoFundMe page. And this is where a lot of our help that we're asking for our fellow classmates and you guys watching this is, please share the GoFundMe, just as we're trying to do with your guys's. And any tips that you can give us that will make our GoFundMe a little bit stronger, and any tips that might go, that same thing goes for any of these solutions that, we really, really would enjoy some really good feedback about anywhere where you think we could make this project stronger. And we really appreciate you guys watching this, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and you guys have a great night.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.